The turn into the straight now with 4.5 furlongs to go. Windamus is the leader from Politico, Melody Rock, Rarity, Charlton and Rock Roy. Nijinsky still sitting at the back of the field with half a mile to go. Windamus on the rails, being joined now by Politico. Nothing between those two. Charlton running on very strongly now, coming up on the outside. Windamus has dropped out of it. With 3 furlongs to go, it's Politico and Charlton, with Nijinsky now moving up just behind Charlton, and Meadowville is up there on his outside with 2.5 furlongs to go. It's Politico on the rails. Charlton is with him. Nijinsky now just coming out, and at the moment Leicester hasn't asked him anything at all. With 2 furlongs to go, Politico on the far rails. Charlton losing his place. Nijinsky cruising up on the outside, as smooth as silk. With 1.5 furlongs to go, is Nijinsky cruising into the lead from Politico, and followed by Meadowville now in 3rd place, and then Charlton. 150 yards to go, and this great horse striding home Nijinsky from Meadowville, challenging strongly on this side. Politico on the far side. At the post is Nijinsky the winner. Meadowville 2nd, Politico 3rd, Charlton 4th, Rockroy 5th, Rarity 6th, Melody Rock 7th. Then
Nijinsky winning the St Leger in 1970, on this day actually, this day today, 1970, and it's 42 years, of course, since anyone's succeeded in matching that feat. Will Camelot do so on Saturday? You'll find out with us here on At the Races. But the man who was on board Nijinsky that day, a legend himself, of course, was the great Lester Piggot. He's at Doncaster today. Simon Mapletoft caught up with him and began by asking him about the Leger.
He is an exceptional horse, and he shouldn't have any problem, really. You know, I mean, there's always a doubt whether they're going to stay the full distance, but there's no reason why he shouldn't, really, you know.
How would he compare to Nijinsky in terms of his ability to get the trip?
Well, I think he's got more chance. I think he's stouter bred horse than Nijinsky was, and I can't see much reason why he shouldn't get it, really.
And if he does stay, of course, he's very much the class horse in the race.
Of course, he's beaten them all before, you know, and I expect, you know, he'll be coming from behind. He's got more speed than most of them. You know.
Now, you've won the Leger 8 times. Young Joseph O'Brien is trying to win it for the first time. What would, if you were to talk to him, what sort of advice would you give him in terms of riding a St Leger winner?
Well, he knows the horse. He's ridden him every time, and you know, the way he rode him in the Derby at Epsom, I mean, was ideal, really. You know, if he does the same thing again, I think he'll be okay. You know.
And, you know, we have so many fond memories of your win on Nijinsky back in, well, 42 years ago. A fantastic achievement, wasn't it? And, of course, it's, you know, he remains the last horse to have achieved the Triple Crown.
That's right. Well, he was the last one, and the one before that was, I think, 1935. So it doesn't often happen, you know.
What do you recall of the your Leger win on Nijinsky?
Well, the same with Camelot, really. He was meeting a lot of horses that he'd beaten before, and he came, you know, going to the last furlong very easily, and he won. You know, he won in the canter, really.
The thing that made it more special, of course, was the fact that he had a bad preparation for the race, didn't he? He'd got that ringworm, and it held up his preparation.
That's right. Well, he was ill in the summer. After the King George, he was quite ill, and they were touch and go whether to get him ready for the Leger, you know. But I never thought he was quite the same horse again as he had been in Derby time, you know.
And of course he was beaten in the Arc, wasn't he, and also the Champion Stakes. Did you feel that the Leger had taken the edge off him?
Not really, but he just wasn't the same as he had been in the summertime, you know. And he was just going down a bit, you know.